Welcome. I'm Dave Klein, and this is a Cymulate Cybersecurity Newscast. Breaking news literally within the hour. A CPA auditing and consulting firm called Kearney and Company, who is best known for doing work with the federal government in financial matters, was supposedly hit by the LockBit 3.0 ransomware gang. Having just gone onto the darknet site of LockBit 3.0, there's a lot of details about this attack, including username and passwords of administrative accounts, SQL databases, a lot of financial documents that are leaking, including ones on tax, investments, loans, audits, and also canceled checks. The ransomware gang is seeking $2 million from this firm, and we'll keep you abreast as we find out more information as time goes on. Hopefully, some information on how this attack initially occurred. Probably one of the more interesting things I saw this week was Proofpoint in a series of tweets discussed a group called SOCGholish and the fact that they were able to get into 250 US news media websites and infect them with a JavaScript to push a 5-year-old piece of malware. Very interesting story. So what happened here is SOCGholish is also known as Fake Updates. They've been around since 2018. They're really known for being an initial infection and persistence group that then sells the results of what they do to other people to take advantage of. They supposedly are related to the Evil Corporation, and in the past have done things like infect WordPress, Drupal, and people who have QNAP file shares. In this case here, what was kind of interesting was when they talked about these various press sites that had been compromised, other people had chimed in and showed how they also had taken advantage of fake TikTok apps they were pushing out, malicious TikTok apps they were pushing out, as well as malicious Chrome updates and things like that. So they're really prevalent across the whole industry. So what are some things we could do here? In this case here, this group uses JavaScript as their weapon. And as we know, JavaScript is a necessary evil. And I say that I wish that Java would go away, but in some ways it's never going to happen, right? So JavaScript is really a challenge, but it's part of our web browsing experience. So what can we do in this situation? Well, first things first, from a server or a client perspective, being an enterprise that has a web security gateway as a proxy that can see and decrypt the traffic, inspect it, and look for malicious scripting and other things like that is really essential these days. It's really kind of important. Also, from a developer perspective, I'm going to put a link to research done by a company called SOCGholish that talks about a lot of the ways that you can do Java obfuscation, anti-debugging and control flow, flattening, things like that, anti-tampering techniques to help you on the server side. So again, for most of us out there, web security gateways that are proxies that can inspect are the most important thing that we could do. For those developing, check the notes section of this video and you'll see a really good article to read that talks about how you can take your JavaScript and make it more secure as you code. Dropbox was hit by a phishing attack with a fake login site to their developers this week and lost about 130 GitHub repositories of code. So what happened here? So basically they would send a phishing email to the developers at Dropbox. They had a site set up that looked like the Circle CI, which is a CI/CD pipeline software as a service tool, and had them log in with the multi-factor authentication. That's how they got access to these 130 Dropboxes. A positive note, Dropbox said from now on that they're going to switch to passwordless authentication and either bring in hardware tokens or biometric factors to help in that multi-factor authentication. Really important message for all of us. In all your power accounts, you really should be using hardware token or biometric factors along with passwordless authentication today. It's just the way it needs to be. And you see how effective these phishing campaigns are and setting up fake login sites. Vodafone Italy was hit by a breach this week. They announced it in a letter to their consumers. It occurred when a third-party reseller was hacked into, one called 4B, sold over 295,000 files, about 310 gigabytes of data, everything from people's identity cards they use to purchase phones, the credit card information, all sorts of sensitive details and contact information. Real lesson here is as a company, you have so many suppliers, vendors, resellers working with you, and they're part of your ecosystem in controlling what data gets leaked and stuff like that. So it's so important in your contracts with all your third parties to make sure you have very stringent rules about data retention and usage and protection. This has been the Cymulate Cybersecurity Newscast. I'm Dave Klein. Have a great week.